had violent games as well, but it didn't impact us, as you can see, a lot of us, because we also had those positive outlets as well. So,
do you think it's like when they started playing video games? Because I know the person in that happened with the incident, he was an adult, but what was his life experience prior to that, or when he started? Because everybody have different experience when, you know, some kids don't play video games, some play, you know, do other adventures out there. You know, and it might be kind of hard to find a kid that don't play video games or don't even know what they are. But, and I know you said that this was a older guy, right? When you had a child, like clearly your priorities are different when you're a parent. And but I don't know what game you were playing. That's all.
Yeah, they didn't
How
talk.
old was he?
I'm pretty sure like 30s.
That's crazy.
30s, you know, he did get sentenced, but you know, it makes you think about how, you know, early development is when you're playing video games. Because I think, you know, outside of reality, video games are some of the first things you run into when it comes to making an emotional decision, knowing the outcome of if you fail or, you know, succeed. But you said something. Cartoons used to show you it was cool to be the good guy. Do you think in 2025 being the bad guy is way better than being the good guy?
Spoiler alert, y'all. We about to talk about some Naruto real quick. So if you haven't watched it, you might want to pause this. There's a character in there, Sasuke's brother. What's his name? Itachi. And Itachi's like a triple agent, right? So he does the right thing, he does the wrong thing, but he does the right thing, and you didn't know, you didn't find out until the end. So even if you looking at villains in a lot of these shows, they give you the backstory of the villains. A lot of these villains were made like this for a reason, you know what I mean? So if you're thinking with your third eye and not just thinking with just your two eyes, you're looking like, okay, man, that happened for a reason. Okay, he became like this for a reason. So let me not succumb to what's going on around me. Instead, let me look at this show and take the lesson they trying to give me right here. Right here, they're trying to tell me he was made like this for a reason. You know, through the stuff that he went through, he could have went another direction, but he let it break him. But they're also showing you like, hey, don't be the reason that somebody goes down that path, right? Absolutely. A lot of times a lot of people are the reason. You the reason. A lot of parents are the reason their kid is in jail. A lot of their friends are the reason that they're locked up. A lot of their girlfriends are the reason that they're in jail or whatever, because they called them when they were mouthing off or starting to fight, and this guy runs up gun ho trying to protect his woman, and he ready to shoot and kill, and now you got a whole gang war going on because somebody couldn't keep their mouth shut. So I think that when you're looking at villains, there is a lesson a lot of times especially anime, these writers aren't stupid. They're writing with curves, and they're writing to make you think. So you gotta be looking for the it's fine wine, you know. You gotta be rewind is more to find, you know. This guy, you know, obviously you're not mature enough to play games. First of all, you're constantly rage quitting. You need to stop playing games, because that is a catalyst for your anger and your rage, and it's not going to stay on the game. Most people that rage quit, they break. We know it. They break their controller. They throw stuff. They scream and holler at people that they're in the background. Like,
I'm flowing straight from the survival scroll.
Man, shut up! I'm trying to play, man.
I don't give a cut that bitch out.
So it comes outside of the game. So if that's you, then you need to step away from the game a little bit, you know, and talk to somebody. You know, the game should not be bothering you to the point where you're going crazy like that and you punch your kid. Punching your kid is insane.
Level of disappointment in yourself, it's just spewing out. Often video games are dismissed as just button mashing, pressing button. But while martial arts, because you know you teach boxing, but while martial arts seem to be a deeper intellect, but aren't both training similar when it comes to mental discipline, like pattern recognizing pattern, risk assessment, emotional control, hand-eye coordination, right? Could a pro gamer handle pressure better than a black belt in a competition scenario or championship in their own respective domain? Who handles pressure better?
No, it's not the same, but it's definitely comparable. You know, in your respective domain, yes, it is good discipline. Now, the thing about discipline is that you need to translate it to everything. So if you got discipline here, that means you can have discipline in other areas. You use it for your benefit. You got focus here, you need to translate it in other areas. You got concentration here, you need to translate it into other areas.
Yeah, I got I guess a follow up to that, because I know that in competition, because I do competition, but then jiu-jitsu, and I see some of the athletes or the people that are competing, lose their cool when they lose the match. I know we've seen a couple of videos online when somebody gets submitted in a match, or they lose the match, and then the referee raised both your hand, but then a person sucker punches the guy afterwards.
I think that's a lot. A lot of that, Diamond, is
It's like
it's this culture. It's this culture today when everybody thinks it's cool. If you look at how our girls react, if somebody says something to them, they turn up their face. They ready to pour water on each other. They ready to fight because that's what the TV is showing them.
Yeah.
They showing them it's cool. You look at all these reality shows. What is it? It's them fighting. They can't work through their problems or talk. I don't like what you said to me. Well, my bad. You never hear anybody say that.
He ain't lying.
Yeah,
They be ready to fight.
Oh, yeah.
Like, my bad, I didn't mean to say that, but men, we assess danger, and there's always a certain threat when you talking to another male. You know what I mean? I don't think women have to assess that. They just say whatever. They know somebody gonna come to the rescue. They know the police gonna come to the rescue. I can't say something to a guy and expect the police to get there before he shoot me. Boys, guys jumped me and now I got a mental disability because they didn't beat the crap out of me.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
You see what I'm saying? So we communicate a little differently, and that's not even through your experience. That's through your instincts as a male.
got it.
You just understand that, like, going in the door, you know that if it goes left, it could really go left. You know what I mean? Like, instantly, and it'll be a problem. So I think that the culture is the problem. What they're seeing on the screen is telling them how to react like this. So these MMA fighters, they lack discipline. A lot of these boxers, they lack discipline. A lot of the guys just doing jiu-jitsu, just doing wrestling, they lack discipline. And it's those guys, it's a specific group, because most times a martial art will teach you discipline. But those guys look on the TV, they see what's cool. Oh, he reacts like this. Like, right now, pretty much all the Russians are fighting.
Yeah.
On their face-offs, they're fighting. They just wind up going. They literally hit each other. Couches get flipped over. Like, this whole set will be tore up. The table will get flipped. Like, it's like that. They just fight.
Do you think it's a line to where, I guess, a little bit too far? Because you got kids out here that imitate like what goes on in Grand Theft Auto. Like, that much, like, how do you play that video game, and do you want to go imitate to rob a bank or carjack somebody?
I think sometimes.
I mean, that's back to the parents, right?
That's back to the parents.
Why are you looking at a game and then you ready to? I didn't look at Grand Theft and was ready to rob a bank.